Hi, I'm Kat, and with me is Jeffrey, and you're watching the Green Pill podcast. And we are here today to talk about enthusiastic consent. We're going to talk about it enthusiastically. And there's going to be a little thumbs up all over our screens and fireworks and crap like that. No, but seriously, it's a big thing these days, consent. And and reading the room and not and keeping the guesswork out of relationships. And it's funny that well, you go first and then I'll get into this thing.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, enthusiastic consent to me really means that it's not just about consent. A lot of people can give consent, but passive, whatevs consent, certain things should not be approved on whatevs. Enthusiasm for certain things should be de rigueur, as they say. It should be what you require, and certainly I require. If I'm going into certain situations and I ain't getting the enthusiastic consent, I'm going and self-satisfying and saying goodbye because, well, maybe I do need to self-satisfy. I will do that because I'd rather self-satisfy than go into an experience that someone may regret the next day. And that's what it's really about. Try and show some respect and try and show that you care about someone enough that you will walk away without enthusiasm because the consent is only so much without showing that you really want to be there.
I'm really glad that we're getting into an age where we are training women and girls that we don't have to have sex because it's easier than arguing. I have had plenty of eh, okay, whatever, sex. And the next morning, I didn't hate myself. I didn't decide that the guy was a rapist. I didn't, none of that. But I also didn't feel particularly great about it. And it was an experience that, I really could have lived without. It
Mm.
was just an experience that it wasn't sex that I really needed to have. It wasn't sex that I particularly wanted to have. And it was just because it was easy, it'll shut him up. I'll go home and that'll just be
Yeah.
that.
And that happens.
And and that's a really dumb reason to
It
be with
is.
somebody, but we're conditioned that this is just a thing that we do. And I'm really glad that we're conditioning, first of all, men to just don't, but also women to be in a position to say, no, you're not. And
Hmm.
no, I'm going to get up and get an Uber now. And
Absolutely.
no, I'm not kidding. We're not going to. And no, this no is not going to turn into a yes, no matter how cute and charming you think you are.
Right. And absolutely. That's the thing. Take no at face value. If someone's going to play a game and say, I'm saying no, so I am, good and honest. No. If you say no, we're going to assume you mean no, or you should assume mean no. And no means no. That's all it is. If you want to say yes enthusiastically, but don't say no meaning yes, because don't assume no means yes. It's just safer for everyone if no means no, and that's it.
The other thing is make it easier for us to stick to our no. If we've said it the one time, it's trust us that it's the thing that we want. If I was on a diet, you wouldn't be waving chocolate cake in my face, right? So if I've said no, don't be all, but come on. just because it's something that you want. Let's not. All
Right.
right. It's better to not.
Yeah, and look, there's no shame in self-satisfying. Oh, you have something that you want to do. You have to relieve yourself in some or certain ways. Go in and self-satisfy. Ain't gonna hurt no one. Just clean up afterwards. Bob's your uncle. You're done. And it leaves the pressure off the other person. And that can go for women too. I mean, women, yeah, you
Now,
can
all that said, nowhere is it written that sex and chemistry and flirting and all that needs to become boring.
absolutely.
Nowhere where are we saying that? We were talking just yesterday about there was a post that somebody made about the movie Labyrinth,
Hmm,
and some guy was talking about it, and he referred to Jareth, to David Bowie's character, as a sexual predator.
hmm,
And some some woman said, okay, whoa, wait a second. Now, you're a cis het man, and let me explain to you a little something about being a teenage girl. Let me tell you something about the fantasy boyfriend. Okay. And let me tell you a little something about sexual tension. So there's that. I don't think there's any planet on which Jareth the Goblin King is a sexual predator. I really don't. But at the same time, you have no power over me. And ultimately, that's what it comes down to. But nowhere are we, do you see why I'm bringing that up? Is this making
hmm,
sense?
hmm. Yeah.
Nowhere are we saying that it needs to be, may I put my hand on your waist
No,
now?
that's a mood kill.
Yes.
That's a mood kill. That no, it should
Yeah.
be fluid. And enthusiasm isn't, yes, you may. Enthusiasm is, yes, let's. That's enthusiasm. Enthusiasm isn't, yeah, I guess. It's, wow, yeah. That's enthusiasm. That's what you're looking for. That's the type of thing that says, go right ahead.
And not everybody's, I mean, you're all, well, yeah, but not everybody's version is of consent looks like
True.
a golden retriever. You know what I mean? And that's why it's good to know the person and read the room.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's really what we're talking about.
Exactly.
And
It,
again, if you're on the other end of it, really don't be shy about, I'm going to sit on the opposite side of the room now.
mhm.
If we're just here to watch a movie, I'm going to put a pillow between us if I have to. And if you're really not getting my vibe, I don't care if we're in the middle of the movie. I'm gonna leave.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
feel free to
That
do
is
so.
not happening.
Feel free
Okay.
to do so.
Get it. That's
Mhm.
not happening.
But guys, read the room. She's putting a pillow there. Accept it. Look, life doesn't always give you the apples. Sometimes you get the lemons. Accept it because there are plenty of fish. And I'm saying that maybe she's not into you, and that's okay. And maybe she is, and it's just not the right day. Maybe she comes back and it's okay. Accept that right now it's not the time, and maybe it'll never be the time, and accept that. Maybe no means always no, and maybe no means not today. Do read those elements too, because sometimes no is just not today, and sometimes no is never.
And also there's also something entitled, I may know you this well, but I do not know you that well. So
Mhm.
there's a question of, okay, second base, but we're no further than that. And that's
Absolutely.
got to be okay too.
That has to be a boundary should be able to be set at any level. Maybe no, I want to keep my shirt on. That is a boundary that I should be able to set. And if a woman is having a problem with that, she should respect my boundary that I want to keep my shirt on. It's
Guys are allowed to set boundaries too.
exactly. And that's all we're saying. Just show some, just wait for enthusiastic consent and don't go forward until you get it. Thanks,
Respect for
everyone.
the other guy. The end. Bye.
Bye now.